Hello and welcome back to Coffee with Craig. We very much appreciate you guys tuning in, taking the time to join us in conversations as we talk about the Second Amendment as it relates to politics, culture, television, news, you name it. Anyway, today we're going to be talking. Oh, before we get started, once again, please remember to like and share this video so that your friends can join in the conversation. So today we're going to be talking about politics. Now, we've been telling you for the longest time that there is a desire by the anti-gun community to build a West Coast wall of gun control. Folks from Oregon ceasefire, Washington ceasefire actually came out in a press conference and said, we want to have California-style gun control legislation all up and down the West Coast, creating a West Coast wall of gun control. So, the ways in which they've done this has been very systematic. They start off by spending money on polling, they spend money on marketing, trying to find out exactly what messages, what ideas, and what policies have the best chance of passing in the states in which they're seeking to take over. Then the next thing that they do is then they start spending money on electing anti-gun legislators. Some cases they go after pro-gun legislators, but for the most part what they try to do is they try to go after, say, Democrats who maybe don't really care about guns or maybe pro-gun, and replace them with rabidly anti-Second Amendment Democrats. Now, a lot of folks want to talk about the gun lobby. They want to talk about folks like, the NRA or, the Oregon Firearms Federation or, FPC. And they want to say the gun lobby is controlling these politicians. Well, a local station in Oregon actually went and did a little bit of research using the information they could get from their Secretary of State's office to find out who's making contributions to candidates. And guess what they found out? You guessed it. They found out that anti-gun candidates are actually making, anti-gun organizations are making 6 times more, contributing 6 times more to anti-gun candidates than are pro-gun organizations contributing to pro-gun candidates. Meaning the big money in politics is not on the pro-gun side. The big money in political campaigns is actually on the anti-Second Amendment side. So let's take a look at who some of these donors are. Well, not donors, but some of the candidates who are receiving. First, let's start with the 2 largest recipients of funds from pro-gun organizations. Okay, so the first candidate that we see here, she's actually she was a competitor on Survivor. She was running for state representative. Her name is Laura Moret. I'm probably mispronouncing her name, but it's Laura Moret. Now, she was once again a candidate on Survivor. She was running for state legislature. She got a little over $10,000. And that came from the Oregon Firearms Federation as well as the National Rifle Association. Unfortunately, she was unsuccessful in her run against Representative Paul Evans, who's a Democrat from Salem. Now, who was number 2 on the list, might you ask? Well, this is an individual that some of you, at least those of you in Oregon, might be familiar with. Representative Bill Post is very interactive with his constituents through social media. He is a solid, he's not just pro Second Amendment because he's a Republican. He's not one. He is solidly pro-gun. He's received $8,500 from organizations. $7,500 of it came from the Oregon Firearms Federation, and then $1,000 from the National Rifle Association. So those are the 2 largest recipients. All right, the 2 biggest. So in total, they have not even received $20,000 from pro-Second Amendment organizations, from pro-gun groups. Well, let's take a look at who's on the other side. Who is receiving contributions and how much are they receiving from the anti-gun groups? Topping the list is the candidate for lieutenant governor. Her name is Val Hoy. She's the former Democratic state representative, but she was also a candidate for Secretary of State. She received $260,000. That's right. $260,000, a hair over $250,000. How much more? Well, the highest the highest earning Republican candidate from pro-gun candidate got $10,000. She got $10,000. She got $250,000 over $10,000. Now, mind you, she's the one who carried the measure that she's the one who carried the background check measure in the state of Oregon. Now, who's number 2 on their list? Kate Brown. Yes, you all know Kate Brown. Kate Brown became governor after well, let's just say a scandal rocked the governor's office, and the governor would wind up, no longer governor. She was elevated to governor and then would run to hold the seat, and she got $250,000. Now, mind you, that's 2 candidates, $500,000. Guess where that money came from? Yes, Everytown. It came from Michael Bloomberg and Everytown, because they realized that they basically wanted to buy the top positions in the state in order to be able to push their anti-Second Amendment, anti-civil rights agenda. Now, we in the Second Amendment community, I always come against this whole concept of what people call the gun lobby. Because people think, when you think of lobbyists, you think of people going to these big old fat cat dinners and making big, huge contributions to candidates. And the reality is, those who advocate on behalf of civil rights, advocate on behalf of the Second Amendment, we are a different breed in that guys. We largely, what we do is we let you know what's going on. We let you know how your representatives are voting, and then let you know, what bills they're sponsoring and things like that, so that you can make a decision on where your resources are going to go, how you are going to donate, who you are going to donate to or not donate to, or who you're going to donate against. But here's the thing, folks. We see that multi-billionaires are doing everything that they can to make sure that the anti-civil rights crowd gets elected. We need to make sure that we're doing our part. Now, once again, the FPC, we have not contributed to candidates. I don't know that we're going to be contributing to candidates anytime in the near future. But we want you to know how important it is that you contribute, that as individuals, we contribute to candidates. Candidates who support our rights. We need to support those who are fighting for us. Now, how do we help you? We help you know how they vote. We help you know the positions that they take, what bills they sponsor. And by doing that, you can then be an informed, not just an informed voter, but hopefully an informed donor to the right causes. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. I thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the fight for civil rights. Got to use them or we're going to lose them. You guys take care.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.